Attention, if you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and were then hospitalized for a serious internal bleeding event, you may be entitled to compensation. Call 1-800-256-8115. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to causing serious internal bleeding events requiring hospitalization or even death. Call 1-800-256-8115 for a free consultation. Call now.
Attention Pradaxa users. If you have taken Pradaxa, a widely prescribed blood thinner, you may be at a higher risk for serious bleeding or heart attack. If you or a loved one have taken Pradaxa and suffered internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, brain hemorrhaging, heart attack, or death, call the Reliant Group. You may be entitled to a significant cash award. Don't be a victim. Get the help you deserve.
Call the Reliant Group at 800-701-4227.
On taking the prescription drug Chantix to stop smoking? Chantix has been associated with major psychiatric side effects in some patients, including suicide, suicidal behavior, and acts of violence. If you or a loved one has taken Chantix to stop smoking and suffered any of these side effects, you may have a claim to compensation.
Taken the drug Vyberzi for your irritable bowel syndrome? Then please listen. The FDA has warned that people who take Vyberzi are at a higher risk of developing serious, life-threatening pancreatitis, especially if they no longer have a gallbladder. Hospitalization, serious injury, and even death can result after as few as 1 or 2 doses. If you or a loved one has taken Vyberzi for your IBS or IBS-D and suffered pancreatitis, especially if you don't have a gallbladder, call 1-888-357-6666 now for information on potential compensation.
Have you been diagnosed with nephrogenic systemic fibrosis, commonly called NSF? A dye used in MRI and MRA scans has been linked to this potentially fatal disorder. Symptoms of NSF include burning, itching skin, severe joint pain, muscle weakness, and blister-like lesions. If you've been diagnosed with NSF, nephrogenic systemic fibrosis, call board-certified lawyer Terry Bryant, 1-800-444-5000.
Attention diabetics. If you have taken the diabetes drug Avandia, listen carefully.
If you or a member of your family has suffered a heart attack, stroke, congestive heart failure, or death while taking Avandia, you may be entitled to financial damages from the manufacturer.
Call the toll-free number on your screen right now to be connected with an experienced attorney to find out what your legal rights are.
Despite the fact that the FDA has issued a safety alert to all Avandia users due to an increased risk of heart attack, stroke, congestive heart failure, and even death, the manufacturer is still selling Avandia.
Do not delay. There are time deadlines to file a claim. Call us right now to be connected to an attorney for a free legal consultation and to find out what your legal rights are.
Please, if you or a family member has taken Avandia and suffered a heart attack, stroke, congestive heart failure, or even died, call us now. You may be entitled to financial damages.
Attention diabetics, if you've taken the diabetes drug Avandia, listen carefully. If you or a member of your family has suffered a heart attack, stroke, congestive heart failure, or death while taking Avandia, you may be entitled to financial damages. Call the Reliant Group now to be connected with an experienced attorney for a free legal consultation. Despite the fact that the FDA has issued a safety alert to all Avandia users due to an increased risk of heart attack, stroke, congestive heart failure, and even death, the manufacturer is still selling Avandia. Do not delay. There are time deadlines to file a claim. The Reliant Group has successfully helped thousands of Avandia victims and their families get the financial compensation they deserve. Call now for a free legal consultation. There's absolutely no risk on your part. You don't owe us anything unless we're successful.
Attention dialysis patients. The FDA issued a Class 1 recall of the dialysis medicines Granuflo and Naturalite. The manufacturer, Fresenius Medical Care, failed to warn dialysis patients of the risk of heart attacks and sudden death. You may be entitled to compensation if you suffered a heart attack or your loved one died during or within 48 hours of dialysis treatment. Call 1-800-BAD-DRUG for a free confidential consultation. Call 1-800-BAD-DRUG now. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Attention women, if you have had a hysterectomy or had fibroid tumors removed and the tool used to perform the procedure was a power morcellator, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Power morcellators are used in minimally invasive procedures to perform hysterectomies and uterine fibroid removal, and the FDA has warned that the use of these robotic devices can cause the spread of unsuspected cancerous cells throughout the abdomen. If you or a loved one have had one of these procedures and developed uterine cancer, sarcoma cancer, or leiomyosarcoma cancer, you may be entitled to financial compensation and medical expenses. Call the Relion Group right now to be connected with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. There is no risk on your part, and you don't owe us a penny unless we are successful.
Call the Relion Group now.
If you took OxyContin or one of these other opioid medications and then became addicted, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call the Goldwater Law Firm right now. Visit goldwaterlawfirm.com or call 1-800-494-8686.
Attention parents of boys who took the drug Risperdal. The manufacturer of Risperdal has been fined $2.2 billion by the U.S. government for unapproved sales.
If your son took Risperdal and suffers from gynecomastia, a condition in which boys develop female breasts, call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
Your son's gynecomastia may have been preventable. Call us right now. Both you and your son may be entitled to substantial compensation.
This $2.2 billion fine proves the makers of Risperdal broke the law. They recklessly put your son's health at risk and should have to pay for what they've done. Call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
Call us right now. Both you and your son may be entitled to substantial compensation.
A number of boys have already received out-of-court settlements from the manufacturer.
If your son took Risperdal and then developed breasts, call 1-800-634-4173. That's 1-800-634-4173.
If you took the weight loss drug Belviq and then were diagnosed with cancer, call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
The makers of the weight loss drug Belviq have withdrawn it from the market because of links to cancer.
Call 1-800-494-8686. 1-800-494-8686.
Attention! Several recent studies have linked the prescription drug Abilify to compulsive gambling.
If you lost over $50,000 gambling while taking Abilify, call the Goldwater Law Firm. You may be entitled to a substantial out-of-court settlement.
If this has happened to you or a loved one, call us right now.
If you or a loved one took Abilify and then lost over $50,000 gambling, fill out our form or call 1-800-494-8686.
Attention, a brand new study has just linked popular energy drinks to serious heart problems.
If you were hospitalized for heart problems after consuming an energy drink, call the Goldwater Law Firm.
If this has happened to you or a loved one, call us right now. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you or a loved one suffered a stroke or heart problems after consuming an energy drink, call 1-800-494-8686. That's 1-800-494-8686.
Attention, the Supreme Court just ruled in favor of professional football players with brain injuries, clearing the way for a $1 billion settlement.
If you played college or professional football and suffered from a concussion or brain injury, call the Goldwater Law Firm. Millions of dollars are being set aside to compensate players and their families.
There are strict time deadlines to file a claim, so call us right now.
Fill out our form or call our number right now. Call 1-800-494-8686.
I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Then I found out the weed killer Roundup may have caused my cancer. The company knew it wasn't safe. How could they do this to people?
The Roundup manufacturer has been ordered to pay $2 billion to victims of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. If you were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after using Roundup, call the Goldwater Law Firm. You too may be entitled to an out-of-court settlement.
A jury ruled that the manufacturer intentionally hid the fact that Roundup causes cancer. If you were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after using Roundup, call us right now. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you were diagnosed with this cancer after using Roundup, call the Goldwater Law Firm now. You too may be entitled to substantial compensation.
Call 1-800-510-2626. That's 1-800-510-2626. 1-800-510-2626.
We found out our daughter has cerebral palsy. Then we found out it could have been prevented.
How are we going to pay for our son's needs? We called the Goldwater Law Firm.
I'm attorney Bob Goldwater. If your child has cerebral palsy or any other birth injury, call us right now for a free consultation. Your child may be entitled to a lifetime of care.
If your child has cerebral palsy, brain damage, or any other birth injury, fill out our form or call our number right now. Call 1-800-494-8686.